29th April 2025. Good afternoon and thank you very much for tuning in. Yatna siane we yasan ehye biom mamunyina hamamu akwabo Accra Ghana. We're here with some latest by way of entertainment and arts. Chris Yabwa Jinimidi, Bedamwasi, Muniwa Jumedi anyhow. How's it going? Intimi mama kwa baby eba ye dwumadie no entertainment review ana benada meboa sa
single osofo Ghana ha obi anani afra ye wo no ne nkwala abrem ama wadi 30 years anani afra a osofo betumi abie anani wo Ghana ha me say ebi nsi that this challenge obi taking it up enya ntoato bia osofo obi antumi ena papa na de ba no ya mo keka no obi antumi ommoa na dienti a wo ntumi nyane se ade na atwamu now se wo mpene no enu nti ena ma some of them a resort to juju, black magic, white magic and occultism no because wanti yankopon asam na se na dwenche se twasa ade no ekoso aye adwuma in reality anya adwuma in the name of Jesus okwatani wo ho ensel me se atwam osofo bia ni Ghana ho betimi aye we ntoato bia ni mo osofo enkosore kwasia da enkobo me adapa eye simple de makan kofa kwatani begina ho na ka say in the name of Jesus kwatani ehonto no e wa na abrolesia ma ani ewu ede ba na da am da wi asesa ani ehunahuna no wakunkum nanim honhom bia ba no so ni nyina yaza sa Pentecostalism and charismatism no ayaza.
This dial is hot. Stay tuned.
Best radio.
News on your number one station.
It's the weekend. Let the good vibes take over. Only on your favorite station.
With your favorite station. Digital and on your smartphone. The radio is hot.
I got tired to see my face.
Peace FM.
Can't get me out of the race. Oh man, you said I'm in your place. And then you draw back yard. I make you draw back yard. And then you draw back yard. Propaganda spreading over my name. Say you
that card.
In a rubber dub style. 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 As we guard in the palace so majestic. God in the palace so realistic. Them a got tired, they say we fierce. Oh yeah. They say they can't get me out of the race. Oh man, they just a big disgrace. The way you drive backyard. The way you make wrong moves. The way you drive backyard. Make you drive backyard. Make you drive backyard. In a rubber dub style.
This dial is hot. Stay tuned.
Best radio.
News on your number one station.
Weekend. It's the weekend. Let the
Simami and Sana, Naomi and Sabo, Yanko and Mian Twaso, entertainment review, Jumedi, and was you going now. Now what you tell me, and come on, be pay na, and come on, Nina, Fase, Sinitraphobia, Edababa 2, just said, a man 42 TV stations are who they were going to have say. Now, it's almost idea. Na womu yi omo senior womu ni ayetumi omo to me nyom nom de sini na mom so omu yi o ankomo titiri ko free Nigeria enti Nigeria movie producers no dodo na no ana me fan so ke so far ne be enkomodie pa be me ense bia ba beto dwa ba ko ye video no be ye enkomo die bebre na otwetwem ye di hu sankon no bi wo ye entertainment review the Minister of Communications and not to move the Executive Secretary National Film Authority. In fact, National Film Authority no and so ababe kasa wo ho. Na asem say me who said there's so many the entertainment portals no a story about a statement National Film Authority for Edebabe Tudja. Na na pesem kan bibi kakra ho na me bana minian munso amini mo hanum say so mo de kakra de ka ho asam ne say making kind National Film Authority for statement no e di amamo but nia me pese me kan bibi na ye nyina ye hu ni say wo statement of the buy no these are some of the stories APP Bontin too far a graphic show be say graphic online and I'll say NFA to revoke licenses of TV stations airing content without authorization. NFA to revoke license of TV stations airing content without authorization. That's on graphic online. So their entertainment page, that's a graphic showbiz. And I did to offer a Ghana web, the entertainment page. So I'll say TV stations caught airing unauthorized content will have licenses revoked. NFA warns. I know the Ghana web. And I think 3news.com. has this one that says TV stations that air content without authorization risk having their licenses revoked, and if he wants. Assembly says National Film Authority Edikrata by na bra ebeto dwa say TV stations ni bi eyi a man for senior woman need to me omo permission so omunyi National Film Authority for the statement by na womo statement no minkin kind ni nyina san say yakin kind da but o kind 1 2 3 4 5 I think paragraph 4 of our statement native for honum saying there metimi akenkan because ho need teacher ye de sankomodie paragraph 4 no say as the national regulator of the film and audiovisual sector, the NFA is committed to protecting content producers' rights. To this end, The authority is working closely with relevant institutions to investigate and take appropriate actions against television stations that air content without authorization from the right owner or right holder. Offenders risk having their licenses suspended or revoked. Offenders risk having their licenses suspended or revoked. And tisa honum say na almost all the portals dafa na wamode kasem. That is why you find stories on Graphic Online that says NFA to revoke licenses of TV stations airing content without authorization. That is why you find it on Ghana Web Watch say TV stations caught airing unauthorized content will have licenses revoked. That is why I have it on 3news.com that says TV stations that air content without authorization risk having their licenses revoked. As I say, NFA, woman need to me be a womodeji TV stations be a license. I'm saying any NFA and on my license edema TV stations for and our radio stations. They are not the responsible agency. The agency responsible for that is the National Communication Authority, which is one of the agencies under the Communication Ministry. But I think that maybe yang semtra for no na bia womasem no ye ya gi omanu esi boni because okan air paragraph 4 na as the national regulator of the film and audiovisual sector, the NFA is committed to protecting content producers' rights. To this end, the authority is working closely with relevant institutions to investigate and take appropriate actions against television stations that air content without authorization from the right owner or right holder. Offenders risk having their licenses suspended or revoked. Menya sure say ntiase ne say wo mo say omo as NFA no omo tumi so omo be TV stations for license. They saying that they will work with the relevant authorities, and by that ntiase ne say wo mo ni ebia NCA, but not necessarily say be omo NFA no omo be TV stations license. Even TV and even offer a National Communication Authority, even National Communication Authority, no, say TV stations be echo ye obi content no need permission. Omu need to miss on beji TV stations no the license. What nyomo to me with me and National Communication for bit me I say National Communication Authority. If you breach the broadcasting regulations, I know the National Communication for Authority. Me who baby I want to say okay, obi ankwa nkoji permission before airing a year obi senior. Your copyright infringement one say. And I don't see anywhere in your mre mo am say okay because obi have infringe on copyright in the Baba Jenny license. Kojo kin wa hanum say tili ekwe ni power kodo enkomo yi den na betim ga kan say na to
say enkomo na ye enkomo papa ba ya bimbo or den ade beto social media I who say honorable Sam George any Kafu Danko or reacted to it because NFA omo social media platform this say bibi na obi tag o mana say assembly form ho a enye bone say on be yi ano wo eye sa social media because we all know say Ghana and Nigeria ban movies are ye wo anyonkofa esombo yi pa and enkomo na kofeda emo ma assure eye bi mo say omo de enema gu akwan mu a omo hwe say ne how na okum no eto ebetwa and the story about yes o kan a senia etie no unum say eba no social media ne blogging ne ade ade ne dey ebe ma caption a ano ohye but senia wodi nchechemu abai enye say bi omo na omo dey ato omo sem say bi omo beji TV station be license but omo ne the right quarter side ni owo ehu tumi no ebetumi ayede ayesa ade no and this issue na aha nkofo ache say omo intellectual property omo create content na say omo ton say you on
so the issue is that unless they be out in bibisa minim Ghana mre bi okay well be infringe will be copyright into okay well TV stations
there be
I mean, if you flout the broadcasting regulations as the Nyamana she say I know the so make me your license. But I don't see anywhere unless it be on BBC.
That we mean be I mean who in am say no. Because na may forget to say Nancy so story be by say yes you be GB mu license near the ade. Enti every way never fast so say why be copyright infringement here ba your license na. Me hunu say bia near me be me yaka say TV station ya gen license na ya de bia emu odu a enye copyright infringement. And ade na hayache I don't say we na nam so be ma etu atwa ye hwe enum say bibia betime ade akoso kama because hwe Nigeria for story I kind Nigeria for am complaining about Ghana ye yi senior yenje ho to me and say yensensan krata bia say yi even Ghana ha kra yen krofo ni bebre so esun wo saa de we nyina ho enti saa krata ya aba a ekire TV station say mo amu yi nkrofo senior na omo content a monje to me ana to me krata say butimi ye no mon nam ho so say bia wan hwe yi a na nam no so na o sashre o license a odi adwuma say a TV station and me bomb abaso was na montu we ho cause say baby ya we amanfo yusu omo creativity e de creativity ma bebra eno na omo de bomb bra eno ti say yen any Africa crowd we are limited say ye ni enough channels a timidi ton ye content ni di nyesika enti kakra na e wo ho na se ye TV di party se na bo hwe na wo content na the TV so na ye yi ne kwa e de man krofo na se ya limited to how a obetimi aton wa de nyesika eno ti ye di akire ye hwe se emra na omso mo de agukwam em se kafu e ka se in the next couple of days no omo beti bimbo ebeti enka se niema omo de ai de agukwam so we are all following near here baby ebesina your copyright no ho yetimi protect ya man.
Okay, so tili be but my main for we found to just yes teacher we nkomo ni gina say anya no correct say National Film Authority for betimi agi TV station be license because e bia wakwa ko you be sene saa asini no ye no oni tumi so obeyi anya no correct emra bia ni ho ma mo saa tumi no betimi ai bibisa no nkyere say nkomo ya ye di ewie no hye wo TV station kutu pa say ubetimi akọ na flout on people's copyright and now intellectual property ubetimi afa now dia any baby without just ubenya the right or the requisite permission and answer now that is not what we are doing here you but man for hu say am futuro na bia fan bi ya tu egu amanfo ni so nya sa na tie even National Communication Authority kra no mre bi no ma sa kwan so kiwa TV stations bi yi bibi because we need 2 minutes in here kwa akwaje the license. I don't think there's any law that mandates them or that empowers them to do that, but and also interested TV stations you should go about flouting the laws and amra musu sa kekekwa but ye man for say yes and yes and tie NF for need to me van me nya so say NF krata no sa na ntiase no eko tili ni ade beka ho.
I think so me one question up for NFA any nipa or trust our krata way. First off, we say clearly and you no work as be revoke your licenses almost they will work with the right authorities.
Yeah.
The right authorities are we thought say and up the letter no any you understand on be what's our authority not to revoke any form of license NCA but no they can't revoke if a copyright issue.
Yeah.
Ain't it I don't know threatening something that's on the basis of something and when you say it cannot be done. Why go there?
I don't see asembusa
because now say me a copyright issue me for me pirate will be content now. if NCA or any institution or an authority does not have the right to come and revoke my license based on that, meanwhile you are threatening data, are you encouraging me? Why don't you say you will take the legal action?
So NFA should get out.
Yes, basically that is all I'm saying. Because if a legal action NFA as a bigger body can go against a TV channel, I understand it's in your power to do that.
Does that mean that we are now back to square one?
Yeah, we are clearly back.
That means we can.
Because when you say we're starting a major say, okay, or more NFA need to mean yet, or more case NFA so more by no cray. However, almost so many institutions be on betting me, yes, I didn't be. But some institution they can't also do that based on copyright. Ain't it now? Why are you trying to spell a mentro? Like I don't get why they are threatening something that they cannot deliver on. Because the only reason a Bema Obi I can say okay. Metia will be careful on the content as I'm a show, and that's what we can say. Oh, me show will be content without getting the right. It's they know instead there is a tangible effect.
So maybe NFA should bring us that law.
Yes.
Well, if someone flouts someone copyright,
exactly.
Maybe a man
yes,
license.
Because
a man for license power.
But a very sad part say NFA will put something like this in their statement without checking to see if anything like that can be done.
Now, the end statement also. What are you saying? Meaning,
I say, "Oh man, your homework." Who said that thing? LC bet me a at your license with copyright issues and issues are one and na.
Baby, any sir.
I read in Popo. Ghana, we should be serious. So, how do you threaten Obi Aodi Bonnie? Say Mitchell when you can't even arrest the person? Like you get it. But the person once they get away with one, won't mean cash in Chomubium. So to say NFA more to me more the government backing, why don't you rather say we'll take you on and take them on rather than threatening them with the one thing you cannot achieve? Kakra. Some rabbi will hire be exclusive to them. I'm fan to a bontina because pass will be real be a dear. Now, we paying now because a metimia will say no. Won't card your betimia now all threatening with idea won't mean any day. It just empowers the perpetrators.
Relevant institutions.
Which are the relevant? Unless you are telling me there's another institution.
But I think yes, she has a point. Could you mean say be out near canon? And it's a and me that even NCA needs to me no minimum right more kwan say be a fine obi infringe obi copyright and essentially a German for licenses or my hanom bebree.
But you be what institution we or what say to me no?
There's no no
NCA.
there's no institution that obi infringe obi copywriter. You go to court and you go to court. You understand? I mean, it has even criminal and civil aspect in it now. On say, but it's criminal matter. So,
and it's a nice media house be na see trust a general license which
I'm saying that unless the person has flouted broadcasting regulations and copyright
regulations.
What you say? So why threaten them with a result? I wouldn't say it's not even in your power to do, and not even in the power of NCA or multi revoke license to do. Why do that?
Be too mkua.
14 minutes after 3. Entertainment review soon as you go you didn't come away.
This single or software Ghana ha obi anani afra ye wo no ne nkwara abrem ama wadi 30 years anani afra a software betumi abia nani wo Ghana ha me say e bin sit that this challenge obi taking it up enya ntoato bia or software bia ntumi ena papa na de be no ya mo keka no obi ntumi omoa na de ntia a wo ntumi nya ne say ade na twam now say one pere no enu nti and ma some of them a resort to juju, black magic, white magic and the occultism no because one ti yankopon asam na say na de ntia ne say twasa ade no e koso aye adwuma in reality anya adwuma in the name of Jesus okwatani wo ensel me say atwam osofo bia ni Ghana ho betumi aye we ntoato bia ni mo osofo enkosore kwasiada enkobo me adapa eye simple de makan Kopa kwatani be gina ho. Na ka say in the name of Jesus. Kwatani ehonto no e wa na abrodesi ma ani ewu. E de ba na da am da ewiase sa. Ani ehuna. No wakunkum na nim. Honhom bia ba no so. Ni nyina yaza. Sa Pentecostalism and charismatism no. Ayaza. Ye ni single osofo o Ghana ha. Obi anani afra ye wo no ne nkwara abrem. Ama wadi 30 years and ani afra a osofo betumi abie nani wo Ghana ha. Me say e bin sit that this challenge. Obi taking it up. Enya ntoato bia. Osofo bia ntumi. Ena papa na de be no ya mo keka no. Obi ntumi omoa. Na de ntia a wo ntumi nya ne say ade na twam. Atwamu now say one pene no. Enu nti and some of them a resort to juju. Black magic. White magic and the occultism no.
This dial is hot. Stay tuned.
Best radio.
News on your number one station.
Weekend. It's the week.
Okay, all right. So young Kwamano, so now a film crew association. Penny da no Samuel Jando. And Komoyam said, what the bin number children say, but you say bam for a mumna, yentie ni waka. Some other say more Aquaba entertainment review. So,
good afternoon,
yeah. So, Komoya Yedi, was it Dian Chemwana, Diana, was it what they want?
Okay, that was it. What's a key law now? Article 10 on prohibition of film.
Law bear some now okay, it's your 40.
Okay, Act 935. Act 935. And the check here.
Classification and development law no.
Yes.
Okay.
In the check here, Article 10, prohibition to hold film exhibition without license. So every exhibitor, including the TV channel, cinema, movie house, hotels, and anywhere that you deem fit to show films for public consumption, you have to acquire a license from the authority. So TV channels are to acquire license from the authority to exhibit film on their channels. And they say, they will revoke their license. So that is the license they are talking about, not the FCA license. No.
Hey, Sammy, baby, how they fade, yeah. Well, so, baby, how they fade, but Mammy Musa Semo. So, Rabi or Honum, sir. Yes, it's true. As we go to the Amayan. But, Mimusabo, I'm penyan pass a free say. And only idea NFE can want them.
Yes, because you see, I'm saying with you. You see, according to the law, every exhibitor you are to acquire a license to show films for public consumption. So TV channels, cinema, everywhere. I mean, any premises that deem fit to show film for public consumption, you are to acquire a license from the authority to be able to show the films. So unfortunately, the law came in 2016, and I feel now the authority has been established, and I feel that now it is now the authority is trying to get it fit.
So, and okay, and if I check, okay, will be infringing or be copywriter. You saying I said 1 year, you be revoking the license, no? Yes,
no,
the MRA says that they need license to exhibit. But Mrano he found a chepa say obi infringing on be copywriter. Ye be general license na hifa.
Okay, so this one is not copyright. Copyright we leave it for the copyright administration. But what I'm saying is that the person teacher will say, I'm saying till the now say Kojuna client say we don't the NFA doesn't have the right to do that and all that. But what I'm trying to say is that the license the NFA is talking about is not the NCA license. It is a license that the TV channels that need to acquire to exhibit films on their channels. And this issue of copyright infringement, if their TV channel no film not one be classified or NFA, that means that we're breaching law, no, because we need to classify every film that is shown on TV. And then I took it for a chairman for classification previously. So So every film that is being shown, every audiovisual material that is being shown on TV needs to be classified. It's not an issue, moving on the panigi and our TV channel, it was not classified. It didn't come through the NFA to be classified before it to be shown. Then the TV channel, you acquire license to exhibit film, and whatever film or the visual material that you are showing, it also needs to come to NFA for classification. That's what I say. So when it comes to copyright infringement, one give permission from the ownership, that one is under copyright, and it's under copyright. It's not under the purview of the NFA. But what the NFA is trying to say is that it's about the license now the exhibitor needs to acquire from the authority before you show or you exhibit any film on your channel or at your premises.
But I mean, I put it to you, say, nya nchechim na ade manya sa na tie enye nya NFA for can because tie o kind the reason why I make I put it to you say nya no kure ne say o kind paragraph 4 na say ye no kure say nya o kan sa na tie then NFA e wo mo krata mo release no they will not say or write say as a national regulator of the film and audiovisual sector, the NFA is committed to protecting content producers' rights. To this end, the authority is working closely with relevant or institutions. So if they have the power, say why would they say they will work with relevant? Because clearly, they don't need any collaboration from any institutions.
Yes, good. So that we say, and America say this law came it has not been enforced fully. NFA doesn't have. I feel like established NFA now. Try to fit into the system. And then I'm sure say definitely Kafu James Mabafufro. As they say, they work with the relevant institution to make sure that they all acquire the necessary license and permit here to exhibit film on their platform. I'm not sure say almost all the TV channels have even acquired license from the authority, and I even say or some Belgian license every authority to exhibit films. So me just want me to buy I think Tilly and I say the NFA doesn't have the right to even give license to TV channels. But what I wanted to correct me say in the law, the TV channels are to acquire license from the authority to exhibit film for the purposes of film showing. Yes, for the purposes of showing films. And every audiovisual content that obey you or channels, you need it shows that it means that you are an exhibitor. So once you are an exhibitor, you will need to acquire license from the authority. That's the basis. So it's okay the authority in terms of revoking license from these TV channels. We have the right to revoke that particular license, not the broadcasting license, just as you said. But there's a license that they need to acquire from the authority to exhibit films.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, showing a contribution. Why?
That's that question.
All right. That's Samuel Jando, a president of Film Crew Association of Ghana, former board member of the National Film Authority. Why confused because why late? Until the why confused.
Following the conversation, I guess my confused
why late now? Say why better now you're confused.
Okay, because I semna brand nekan. Minute liba here na yebusa say who say license no. They are be revoke. They are show movie and they operate TV station necessarily. And yes, I'm okay. Na enkrofo show movie. First of all, Oman Beji license here the show movie no. But ye gusu show movie. This is a license by na kwako revoke no. Because they are making what say. Because according to the Mr. Jando King, there is a license you are supposed to acquire. To be able to show movie, exhibit the movies, right? And that is different from license now you operate TV station.
Correct.
And to say I will threaten Crawford say so amu koswa flouting copyright laws now mube revoke your license. And to me MCI Eboa TV license no man bejibi but still me show movie. And to see me go so flout a license be now be revoke fi MCI Eboa TV license be. First of all, they have really failed us.
Also,
systems in new amudi juma.
Also,
I say ye frewa hani akwakobo. Because clearly, you see, and sometimes what baffles me is say some of these TV stations here come. I say yes, you digital channels. You will see them there. So getting access to these people, no, anything.
Okay, yeah, Tilly.
And I think it's a question I would be saying was very relevant. If it's in your power to do it, why do you say you are going to work with relevant institutions to do what? To help you enforce your own laws that you can enforce in your own power. But all the same, all about classification, say once you have the license, not all classification was so moving, which means say it's a systemic failure and I can't want to say because in your say classification or operational. And so if you are telling me, say all these people they have been showing amount for movies now, they needed to go through classification and some of my show content now. Now so all these years they haven't gone through classification, but almost show content now. So say ya engineer so be pa na we so kokata say major license be influence them because well, first of all one major license, second one classify movie no your pay at whichever time or no pay. It's say ya no unless say you are threatening the person say I will shut down your television channel. Because the only thing they risk losing is their channel. Yeah. That's the only thing that will make them stop. Because in Rana will lay down, no, they are flaunted the other. And they are still operational. So you are telling me, say, I didn't mean the bino, oh my me, if I'm home.
And it's for the integral classification say when you be cut through classification now or honor requirements and they say right to content now be in a way. So what you say enti sanka utumi anka classification board no e idea e operation anka beboa kebe san komo we na because uko classification board and a committee no ho who person will be classify these contents now. Your first requirement, the account will be right to these contents now. Person we never he. And to me provide the rights, and that means that you've got the necessary writer because rights are transferable, right? What clear? And no say a classification board amount sanction was okay. Who to me ko year? Not to say no. Flouting copyright act law because you've got the permission, but.
27 minutes after 3 yanko and me to us entertainment review soon as you go.
And this hits on the beat, of course. Peace FM. I swear my father, baby you better. I want to carry you go and see your mother. I want to tell her say she will never let go. For giving birth to a beautiful girl. Ole, you did my go. Ole, you carry the go. Ole, you did my heart go. Ole, carry go. Nana, you papa. No delay, papa. And I do it, yeah, papa. I know the papa. Side I never seen anybody like you. I wonder why I love you and I don't know what to do. And when the boys man, I won't see you on down my book. Oh my lover, your pretty little things they make my heart you. You take my heart go.
Catcha featuring Last Made, Papa.
Nana do it, yeah, papa. No delay, papa. And I do it, yeah, papa. I know the papa.
Nature say, what do I come on the mamia? My chosen Kenty and no baby and you me. Me want buy me papa go job with it. You know what I like, who done the way cheap them say. I pick it, me tia wo travel like ice cream with your kojo I set it 1-on-1 me no wo peck kiss it. Rubber and near him pick it, back to pass so just like it. I chill ho, find it wo ho.
You take my heart go. Ole, you carry the go. Ole, you take my heart go. Ole, carry go.
Andrew Ketche, Joshua there with Ketche, their latest single now, Tina Papa featuring Last Made Yanko in him. Yantuaso entertainment review Jumedi Akasma be dio nunkron na no 9 abo na asema de twaso was say late Nigerian gospel musician Osinachi's husband sentenced to death by hanging. Justice in Wosu Eheme of FCT High Court Wuse Zone 2 in Abuja, Nigeria on Monday, April 28, sentenced the husband of late Nigerian gospel singer Osinachi, Peter Nwachuku, to death by hanging. Nwachuku was found guilty of culpable homicide resulting in the death of the deceased, his wife, on April 8, 2022. The judge held that the prosecution had proven the burden of proof placed on it by the law and subsequently found the defendant guilty. Nwachuku was arraigned on June 3, 2022 by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation on behalf of the federal government on a 23-count charge. The charge was on culpable homicide punishable with death, criminal intimidation, cruelty to children, criminal intimidation of children, spousal battery, among others. And some no drosso, but say mi chirechiri mu amamwa. Say afi 2022 muna ebeto dwetefo. Enti be mfie be miensa sa ahene enti akode nim kakra enti say yemu bi ho na say ye refi. Nigeria gospel nyomtuni Osinachi ebeto dwa se ni ku aburu no akunu wa na yakayaka dia mama mi efamawu. Enti asam no ba ye no police for ekoso ni kunu mu Peter Nwachuku eno amde no ko gina court ti 2022 asemi kona bra sa eno ajuade yi ena court bu asem no se papa ni di for omoji tum yes wonu waku na yire no wonu waya na yire no ayakayaka de ma wa free asasi so gospel nyumtuni no wakunu enti wodi for yemfa ne enko no no nso no yenkokun ni bi yenko sen no yemfa no nsan ma so na omotwa homa na oje ew obomu se ewuo ye ya sa we die edo nsan homa so na e pushi ugina table so no mo pushi ana bia ugina akonya so no mo pia akonya na fie obaje ew eno e ban sa akran hotimi ko turret. Sorry, who did you have me? But me chim send ade ni sitie. Aha. And no say pese papa no so feel send ye owo ye ya. Enti court no say enko ne enko hange no. Peter Nwachuku obaje shadia we pini hu ni otwese kan no owu ase kan no enti so waku na yire a court nso say wonko yenkokum no capital punishment Ghana cry am say sadia MC etwemu say dia dio obia person de ne sa be sha ase ono nkoku president ben ono nko science yenkokum na je say oh no umoja Debbie. But Nigeria, that's so the Asian Kuku Peter in Nwachuku. Tilly. Papa is young Konomko, Koji, no, says. Mean you.
Me name se menia Gio say who I don't know how I feel about it. Because I don't know. Me knew the menka honestly. Me need a menka trying to say menka say or triao say kafrao say konga. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Me we the same way there. Me knew the menka because owu ye no humani wu ye no we all felt the pain of asemono and for obeko court na omo beye omo be bia who said that be won so fata wo na say they have proven beyond doubt say una udi bone kro na udi ye ka no etino all the best to him, all the best, because maybe all kono
all kind of say proving beyond doubt no one say for criminal case who court mrem na ofia proving beyond doubt no nya de ketwa prosecution just say because obi ne akwakoku no
exactly, because
so the prosecution is able to state and make a claim and its case not just say babe to just say yes
because they could have sentenced him to life, right? But this time they are taking his life, which means say we prove ya bro some who say akwawe oka assassin so we had with you from preko. You must reach a certain level of nyamransem, like they have to prove it to that level. This all to me do I all the best to him. And no pen meeting me.
Yeah. Oh, Sinachi.
The kind, I think Sema Meno, a Samandu baby or one me sure say Neni Bejipa. Obe train bro, ama wabekano ho. Na omo scores be on mesetila, oma settle her Samando. Honestly, media anka sadia obia to me abusing a wife, to me bunu kunu. Enanka yema anase obanso ono so etumi kunu because ni kuna akotwe mpona wonachi ana bibinti nka omu nyina no kaye kunkum omu bisa anka ebeboa because media wu to me ji obi life if you ni nsem ade enti na yentumi nje wodi mfi nsem se ye court tinase ye hwehwem ye hwe evidences ni nyema na mpaniampa wetumi agi obi life if ni nsem dia unso say was ye tumi ji wodi mfi nsem because ye jawo tinase aswa possibility say obesa ye biom na no so wo ti media mefo aso pa me de yie media how I feel about it no busamia mani sempi say court see ono nso so no yenko sen ni bi na onhu se na uka wasem onko dwege wo na onhu se de tie
Hello Mintiu
enche bia na anadro be wam na mepe enyum bi eda fam na media meditate kakra nti me call na me ko hu ye maami a wa free mu osina chi na nyum bi na metewa me se maami we pa sene was so Mike Muso or Tunumwa. I will see a big group intino or co. It means maybe who story say court to Timia Bois say yen fa human son a con Nikuno na onunsu engubino na okay makoma atom na onunsu engubino. Esan say maami a wawi say bia nipa omo adi areho wiase mu nyina no ene ne man na busuafo so makoma beto mo yem pa na judgment we ebeboa ama omo timia ama makoma tom yem en mebo Nigeria for court na baso say omo timi IFM say na odi kan say Ghana yentwa mu but say bia omo paniko obesan ase say yen ayedene for them to no say ade na mran se fata say nipa no yede ne ko e kamra ne ho e na o ma hwe memra no akosene a etie eno nti no mebo amabaso ba mebi na mpese o cheun so mo kan say also the homicide the culpable homicide no don't say emram nti ajawaye ayi ye mra hweso for head na nka mpese o kirechire no mu kakra o say between so wakuno ne ewe ne de no say I want for nyanti ase kakra
nina ye kum ntimi nina pesa me che
say kum obi o ha
so bi kum
ye kum nti but the difference no
o say
I say okay you be the sentence you be life obi so ha ye kum obi
say bia metimi abo no awu metimi atetew no we met me the two abo need to way difference.
So are you trying to say said the way you kill the person determines the punishment?
No, I tell my can another one. Me see you can say culpable homicide. And I'm a person me
so homicide no say murder, manslaughter. Okay, so your intent really shows the difference.
Okay.
I dream porno because me the bathroom, but the intent never describes if you murder. Until be if when there's that intent, until I say wapayo share wabo timpo na ukuni that means murder. And now say abia the action was there, so we call the actus rules. Until the end, so be we can be, but you shame no na. If you are able to maybe find like for self-defense and IBB, then that would be manslaughter because still a week will be.
But you see, also culpable homicide. I mean, Google almost say culpable homicide refers to the crime of causing someone's death, but not intentionally or with knowledge that death is a likely result. It is a legal term that falls under the broader category of homicide and is distinguished from murder, which involves a deliberate intent to kill. It's just a culpable now.
Culpable no, we're not death sentence. And correct on that.
Can say, on say, I'm for be
but if that's what it was, then I don't think then KB Obenya
death sentence.
Yeah.
Because Osha.
Because mostly murder and attract.
Because I say be a minute till you are going to prepare go na me piano be our top form na all of a sudden we were.
And I say obi woni wo fie ene wata wasum kakra. Ochana no we mia okon kakra ene no we di watem kakra. That's what tete wa na what the form we wintina say. 89 chechemu na mpese minya about
I come in school fees ni kakra so over support.
Oh, me support too. Yeah, very contribution. There about you know
me that's entertainment reviews you know so go here anymore.
This dial is hot. Stay tuned.
Best radio.
News on your number one station.
It's the weekend. Let the good vibes take over.
14 minutes to 4. Yanko Yento Aso say Spotify pays. In fact, just listen to this story. Spotify pays $100 million to podcasters in first quarter of 2025. Sikani about $100 million. I mean, those podcasters. You know where a podcaster is? Okay. You'll get to know. Music streaming giant Spotify said Monday it had paid out more than $100 million, $100 million to creators of audio and video podcast in the first quarter of 2025, marking the first time the platform has shared such figures. The Swedish company generated a revenue of 15.7 billion euros. That's $17.9 billion last year. Quote, for the first time, we are revealing that Spotify paid out more than $100 million to podcast publishers and podcasters worldwide in the first quarter of 2025 alone. I'm wondering how many Ghanaians are in this. But it's about money. So, Spotify, streaming platform. Na enra no modi ababa to just say over first quarter of the year 2025, which is January, February, March. Bosumi me say di kind January, February, March enko ano near from podcasters omo ye content e bia fine wo ye video what you na bia wo ye bibi no de akwa to internet no so e was Spotify honum say ana bia audio say bia okasa na wo de akwa to honum say sa amanfo no enyema wo mo ye any sika nko a wo metuatua ma mo no all over the world we are seeing fanana nyina no $100 million $100 million and I call amanfo just say sika was ade no papa anya de ketwa but ni enim ne say enkwansi asem kwan ye betra internet no so be Ghana for atem didie ni nsem hu nkwa say no so bomb ska yo yate be di atema kwa akosi da ben just a man for critique ni ama o no a man for timi call internet no so no makwa ko streami Emma sikanko epie fi mu aba no chese Spotify company no sikanko munya $17.9 billion and wo mache mfaso ni bia ma manfo a wo so mu create sanya mai $100 million esi wi ase afa na nyina bosumi en se di kan Ghana for dodo ahina na mu kojo o kan bia na ye
the view when can be and last na me ka say ebano the streaming platforms na the Ghanaian market na kasa yeni sheda yenti ase too much. Most of the oh no, not really because o share ye ko streaming yuma most Ghana say baby any wo pay audio mark any other but omo a sebi baby e modu and other say be artist fan wa download Spotify baby krampo nim say me download app no kran san no matimi akwa stream enyom no and osha we exclusive to premium subscribers no on Spotify mo na mbetimi anya access to videos near there and musicians can upload their music videos and some content creators now more podcasters no and but it was I say how many artists cry no music videos near there or na ho krampo na the Ghanaian consumers no most of them na nkasa.
But this one is not about music. No, we're about podcast.
Yes, me can say a video. Spotify na nkasa no. Enye bebre nanim say you cannot they stream video over them po. It is now me person me kan nyina say they understand say as fans no ombetimi ati as okay this platforms you betimi akwa stream your videos. We can upload as musicians, we can upload our music videos there.
Oh, but you see, the reason why I don't want you to do music, you still are in music. Music is big.
But I mean, you're a musician.
Yes, no. But apart from that, you create content in your idea.
Meba.
Editing.
Yes. And Babia. Yeah, me can say yeah, betimi dia starting in the basic because we are musician now audio nkwana or there's an opportunity I'll betimi do videos right at all and the podcasters any content creators money are there no you betimi that but even the Ghanaian market no how many of them now are subscribed to premium. The main Spotify app na nkasa ko ni bi woni phone so anka mpese or the premium na the app so and most of the people will not think but you have other followers or more outside that they can consume it enti na sika bi say be bana we are missing out because understanding of how the platforms works no kra na na edrin enye we na aba na bia ye di ho nkomo wa ha na edi insight 1 or 2 bi ye de be ba obi wo ha ono de onuma ye YouTube it will create the content no the call YouTube nim say obetimi kra dey to Spotify man premium customers say the subscribers say to me the extra me I don't tell you good say education but now content creators any more your podcast there's a platform obetimi dey on video na kotowa amount for be streaming now so e bia wo bo ho body na sell ya na say sika ya omo invest because o share article na reading na sika o ma raise in the previous years any the almost expecting any the almost they acquire bond meaning save they are spending $100 million there now yes and you in return there ade kese pa enti no ye nyina yes no eye opener to us say who create content any platforms are unim de da no ubetimi de ato han so sene be ya also betimi anya sika ne bia de afrim
Tili, mintio, Spotify kan, any the official is betimi asua film as Ghana, yemu teacher bia mebunu, and I've seen you also you have a number of content.
Yes.
Maybe fees break over research. How can I get maybe my content to Spotify?
Me aware, pa.
Now, so you are aware?
Yes, I'm aware.
How?
So I'm aware, but Ghana ha or podcast.
Not I be almost friend. I'm aware.
If you are, so maybe you have research, no, that I wanted my content to be on Spotify, no, I needed a third party to put my content on. It's a see I am on commander.
It's all the phone so.
Yes, would find another platform. So
one won't mean fan.
No, it's me search.
I don't know.
I don't know. Me search and we say maybe say our online say. Do you still need a third party to be able to upload your podcast to Spotify? I must say yes. You generally need a third party hosting platform to upload podcasts to Spotify, including in Ghana. Spotify doesn't host podcasts directly, but instead distributes feed from platforms like Buzzsprout, Blurry, and Transistor. And senya me uploading content called YouTube and Ajubiano. I have to go through a third party, and mind you, just like music, more aggregators the a certain share no or no so be funny share. However, there are podcasts I will broche but if you have me full friend call her daddy. This year was signing deal $125 million with Sirius XM.
Which is a third party.
No, which is Sirius XM
platform.
A platform.
Yeah.
But you see, omo there no, omo for third party. So omo any direct. So the platform. When you have a podcast, first say me now first say DSP almost steady boom player now audio mark almost atili adia we Charlie I'm for any ho let's do a partnership but yeah no artist the crown po mu nya hwe na me podcaster what you say. So the platforms actually reach out to these people.
But is it not the case Ebia you create compelling content
they are compelling content because unim say call her the maker no the maker say serious exam no and you be who be that
then why
interviews asa on Khloe Kardashian on you know the friend say you any star spell and no pell interviews pell
by interviews no you see interviews pell
yes but because
also okay who bet me Khloe Kardashian now
no but you see it is about terrain if menya sakode. The question is, do we have audience out there that are willing to pay to watch an interview between Sarkodie? But out there, there's a large market that wants to see an interview between Alex Cooper or hosting called with Khloe Kardashian.
No, because why are you thinking of being Sarkodie? Because they are you see your nyama wa hanum ebi e koso wa hanum saying. The thing is that you be a dream. Why is it everybody is thinking about have to go and interview Ebi Anumtuni? No. I'm saying people are doing things that the world want to hear.
But you see, certain platforms don't allow side how to actually take the amount of money almost so my typical example on TikTok. Some of the most creative people I've seen on TikTok are African content creators. But guess what? No matter what you create, on my osika. Meanwhile, Obi Oko US for cider. Obi to me for Obi content. No I green screen, no or share, no or kasa, no now you turn it simply because of our US. So to me right now when it comes to
no ABI system because me kase bem said baby Chubeka Dr. Bamia kan about ABI.
Yes.
How young Ghana Hanum say no your platform is not even linked with the world platform in the account I no count and no see
but aside that typical example like a platform like TikTok it's not just Ghana a continent no so apart from I think US UK some other three countries in the world TikTok doesn't pay anybody else and no matter what continent no so apart from I think US UK in the world and no and saying who said TikTok akodawo your friend is saying US no content creators say they all went off because their account not making money and Ghana how it is based in the US so sometimes when it comes to content creation I don't think it's about the content per se. You can have some funny content and have the earballs, but it's all about you being in a sector and as a jurisdiction that gives you money or sees value in because interviews and aside even interviews, as you said, I don't have to interview Sarkodie, but I know Ghanaian content creators that are doing things online or numbers. But the mere fact of what Ghana meanwhile Alex Cooper is just doing interviews. Shit and gigs. Fuhad and James, they are yes, they are signing big deals, Philly Arenas, simply because they are in the UK.
Yeah, those two guys.
Simply because
Philly O2 Arena because
Arena
of
podcast. Meanwhile, I am Komoya for 80 me who I'm not to call example. When I see Kojo Sheldon and the way he's able to excite the youth with his content, guy no our broche baby. Charlie Jai. No content, no jurisdiction, no location.
Next time, Baba, me I want to baby papa.
Me say next time me PF let me who Ghana crap that let me go back.
But back was say sad because me call me too quite. I was trying to change my TikTok, and you can't change it too. Yeah. Me try some TikTok to that of America so that I can make money off the content I post. But I couldn't change it.
I change it so there's a rule. If you have to post content in the US for 2 months before the algorithm and the platform acknowledges you have shifted location.
So if you create the accounts in the US, Canada, wherever, and you come back to Ghana, if you want to post and you are posting from here with the US account now, how does it work?
That's your IP address.
Yes. So,
IP address no baby I will do any fee.
So okay, so you are able to change. If I say more Ghana now person call US call monetizing my TikTok I have to upload my content from the US for 2 months and some platform be allowing me to change my Ghana number to a US number. What you say? If you wanna you can still post as long as a US number you are free to get your money. Okay. But then they can see you are uploading from Ghana. However, you are a US citizen or something uploading from Ghana, you can get your money. Yeah.
It's Brekwesi, I think
the crack is Mr. Kwesi, take me to the US for 2 months so your girl can get her content monetized and make money. Thank you.
Some time ago there was this story raising saying shena ya monetizing all these social media handles mo kai san common ekosi hifa. So that is the problem, because I don't see why obi oti UK.
So ntimun komo and dem person change and say podcasters Spotify $100 million say ye bia ni nyina is because Ghana baby aba be pie.
Because it would also take somebody to want to take that step, say, okay, this is the podcast I'm doing. Like Tilly is saying, I don't know much about this streaming platform, but per what Tilly is saying, or person say, if I have to upload my content to Spotify, I need a third party. Podcast. Yeah. I need a third party to be able to put my content there. And that third party, only free. Of course. Ebian to sika third party, but Jena said ya Ghanaian market na we are not really into stream. How many of us will go and subscribe to Spotify Premium or something to be able to stream for you to get the money? And I get where you are coming from. Say your content is now created. It's not necessarily for the Ghanaian market, but you see, Ebiana streaming now ubenyano. Maybe I'm going to what 100 billion. So everybody will see $5 spend.
Can I tell you the amazing thing about even podcast streaming? When we say as for form, I'm going to discover hopa. As for form, as for the way they are preaching. Now people go me say me streaming on Apple 4 podcast, which is Pastor Joel Osteen. They preaching in other hall, and that preaching is on Sirius XM premium content at the hall. And as for form, so there's yes, as for. There is an avenue for you to make money. It's monya world because what more approach or more disika to patch monya world.
But again, send how can say preaching no how we preaching no. Any bia nia utie ya na nia utie no. They been preaching now preaching because you preach but you localizing preaching no. And so yes, I mean.
Oh, senior, you Ghana hire who Alpha Hour. And then Ghana form Quanish. Me sure say Ghana form more diaspora so more share the tuning.
But still they are Ghanaians.
Yes, but at least they are out there and they know how they use this kind of platform. So me sure pass if
na Ghana ni ono wa brocho so call YouTube be share if you ever subscribe to Spotify no akuti.
No, but it depends. Content so have first Alpha Hour say. If you are done with the life, who did it free? That's any proper so see content. Media some preaching, so I go back to go and listen. Yeah. Because maybe at that time na come as and be mammy to me akutie. If me Alpha Hour new now catch me say this preaching will be live on Sirius XM by morning now. if you want to listen again, go and listen now. I'm sure there are people that want to go and listen.
But you see something fundamentally wrong here. And on a cano. Tilly, no cano say by yes anity. Baby a brochi man on honum say you know. A man for no tias and teach you infancy bia a brofuna na omwa culturally bia ya watiti honum say omotinyama say inti bi obeko podcast or man say bi obeko spot for obeko Apple then otie some of these podcasts and I do some me especially me too kwan am timitie saade no Ghana hanuma I'm thinking about my data everything ni bibia but when I travel I'm able to do that. I listen to a lot of these podcasts ni nsem mo kan very educative.
So culturally, no, we are not used to. Matthias.
You catch
say you bojia, you chief on a near bojia TikTok so.
Content,
no, because you say, Ebia, I'm fatu here, me. Say, a restaurant. Ebia, in terms of hygiene, bibia. Anyhow, I best serve. So, call restaurant. Obebo kabe 200 Ghana cedis. Na obeko mamia oye choba edie ase. Wase ya be 30 Ghana. Ghana ni obeka chro se there be me nko didi wa 200 Ghana. Metimi issue 30 Ghana. You understand? That is why you will never. When see it me too kwan. Ye call malls near the adekoto ade. But Ghana ni nko akra mall. And obefaka ko makola obeko osi ho na ne bo ne efu
I won't say you dig start na make about senior ye Ghana ye consumers no omo etiase about these apps no even YouTube cry fan say YouTube enye obi a no de ne content to a amanfo epe but obi are building the numbers the following it is like what you said now boy or an active following and as subscribers are when you add in the content too regardless and yes be on anchor yes be on no created the best of content here but we're building a certain level of following now or the idea to omoba yeah they call the audio side Ghana hire one for monthly listenership Spotify, Sropa, and on a determine almost all move streams or munya. We have other musicians their audio is not performing. So I think say more audio side you but try with the video any podcast now that we can measure because so far I believe say we following we base and as I say to me mouse level of activity maybe app no so recognize okay this is a content podcaster from Ghana. The followers in the activity on the app in Ethiopia says cabin your demand a bit me the idea.
But for the sake of education, like they are working, do you have to catch a certain eyeballs before you are able to upload your content?
No.
Okay.
No, but you see,
but the podcast will be empty.
What you have to do is, and I agree with Mr. Kwesi on that point. What you end up doing is you end up using your time to share Spotify content to your Ghana audience. I mean, almost someone account po. They don't even have the app. Only be on the phone. So you get it because the app, unless already.
But I didn't know targeting Ghana audience.
No, but
no, I mean your base.
I get your point here. There is this guy, he's a podcaster. Podcast need a connecting mind, brilliant content. If you listen to his interviews, conversations, and that kind of guy, the market, I can tell you the market in Ghana. That guy, connecting mind, brilliant content.
No, but you see, I understand you. The truth of the matter is, there are some content, if it's good, as time goes on, people out there will discover it. Sometimes by almost search
of course algorithm
but you see the first 1 year work now will be you will be sharing unless you are telling me say you have a certain group of more US or you have a way of sending your link to them. You cannot until you'll be targeting your same people hoping that they will share to their friends but one man will send their mom they don't even have their app.
So mami musa we any offense say Ghana ni be na money some of these platforms here can and even Spotify more podcasters or more content what I'm saying.
I think it's a DJ Slim.
It was Spotify.
Yeah, DJ Slim bewo Spotify and I said
Are you guessing or you are just
Also obewo.
Obewo.
Me na kasa da na wakache me say he's on Spotify. Either Spotify or Audio Mac, one of the two. He's on it.
Okay.
Audio content, he's on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obi make comments be sometimes.
Audio.
Nah,
Podcast.
and it goes to show how Ghana for be na yenye address. And this is just Apple Music, right? And to Obusami said, na otimekamu. And I may born you know so audio but I'm sure there be media sa Audio Mac babe community and you Apple Music. Or say hey any was can I'm say sikabe. Obviously you have to subscribe. It's $5 or something. So I'm like what will you say mentality no?
And that is the same mentality for Netflix. Ghana.
Obi ko be net no be have a on WhatsApp still. Can somebody share with me Netflix?
Ale free download. Ale na obi aye na nyom no. No be the sound at home. Ale it is hard man enye easy. Yeah free ho.
Okay. Mommy enko kojo you be chat to okra.
Yo dia medi e be chat to de na say your birthday messages and medebe to Eunice and another queer aka Boachi nation in our yes secretary and there I would that now we enjoyment minister and then the school in Tino Minyasha so bit me joining to the Yabotrena Ubefia near to your boss and near celebrity birthday Nyanko Punsha na on your case. Selassie Brown, gospel musician also and there. O birthday Yakopon sha no nya kese and a weekend nso me kwa chima se me papa kwasi Yesu na yi eno ntie nyina ye babusua fo ye ba mase aba betie ye papa no Yakopon sha obia
no sia na me kai amanfo say especially academy members that we tie me no monto Emma can promise all of the categories I will be especially artist of the year. Unya academy members now with ya. We tell us how you say for phone *1767# now code A5 for can promise. And I say who you should tell us also at GhanaMusicAwards.com. Connect to our banner who here.
Yeah.
Prakwesi me so me to aswa. I don't know say. Me person me treat TGMA for adwin ACBB so omu tia. Omu voting platform online there no. I'm on any phone to me to abani.
The www.
I'm on any phone to me to abani because it requires a phone number. No mo phone number she ho no ma. Enye adwuma. And as our Ghana number crown so now the shewa. E bia sa OTP code na obenya o de be no so. Emma. It is say Stoneboy Lucy vote bebre so amanoni nti ye be share but who tell seller o dial *1767# na nominee code A6 Stoneboy for artist of the year. I think so there are 8 other categories and also e wo honma o type in *1767 na fe udi codes no ahihye wo www.ghanamusicawards.com no so no oba udu phone number hye na wetumi atwaba nti ebe sere so metumi aye bibia fa ho ana ebe boa
see well you see am say by tea for a car say me who say opinion that Black Star experience now no Orarex so much share just about 45 minutes ago on social media. Say national launch Black Star experience 6 p.m. on May 1 2025 Freedom and Justice Monument enti mo be ka ye din komo na story be better about teachers okay Black Star experience mo better me pa hontuma me need that to me but per post ya wa make it na say Mayday say Mayday May ni dey kan Mayday hand you see enwure no nsia Freedom and Justice Monument all me say and omo pa untuma Black Star experience no it for NDC aban ni so ade hunu niama a wo se wa kekere eno no ba beboa sesa art ni entertainment culture netimi aton Ghana tourism e dia kwa ekire o man netimi afa no ntuma pa free ba no tourism culture ni art enti ye Wamo say wamo bepa hontuma May ni da edi kan kura which is May 1 yenhwe se ni besi beko ye ma omutrin kwa na ebe after that me so say be din common be account ewe Ote Kujo King nka ote Tile Kwe nipa nka ote MC Yaibo anso enka meda mas papa meda asenso so tie dwumedie bi na call ye Facebook now share sanso now share YouTube nyame shira papa Salamat Pinto and Clinton Tamechi Peter Square as always they confirm kwesi abo agimena mdi uchiame kwanso we bro dwumedie odi anka kwa me ebo ade brayen no ba beto aso akopi me no nsia
Baby, goodbye.
So we gotta go. Miko.